Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Took some time off from some recording there last week, involuntarily, because the weather out here in my part of Florida has been pretty gnarly. As a matter of fact, it just rained, but there's just enough cloud cover for where it doesn't feel absolutely miserable to be out here. So figure I'll try to make this quick video, talk about what I've been doing instead of recording. Been working a lot on all the other things in my life, especially figuring out more about YouTube and video editing software, and you already know all the life tasks we have. Last video ended on how my decision is to go ahead and plan on moving to Colombia in the next 11 to 12 months now. Essentially, the idea is to avoid another summer here in Florida because this weather is miserable. Like, I want to be outside, but when the weather is this hot and humid, no one wants to be out here doing this. So you either take what you get and roll with it, or, like I'm deciding, man, is to go ahead and figure out a different option. And so with that in mind, a lot of things need to happen in order to relocate like that. So wanted to give you a quick rundown of the reasons why I decided that Colombia is a really solid option. And to begin with, from what I understand, it can be more cost effective. Now, I know the Colombian peso is really strong right now, so the conversion rate isn't exactly balling when it comes to the dollar in Colombia, but I don't live there right now, so we're gonna have to see what it's like in about 12 months. If it gets way stronger in that, like, the dollar isn't strong and I'm basically living like I would here but in Colombia, that's a severe disadvantage. So we're gonna have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But as of right now, and as of the research I've been doing, it's certainly more cost effective to live in Colombia. Second reason why, as I mentioned, the weather here, I'm dying for better weather. At least 4 seasons. I get it, you can technically be outside more often when it is warm, and if you're the kind of person that enjoys warm weather, but it has been the hottest summer for the past 20 years that I've been living here. And that's an exaggeration. There are some months every year that are very cool, and so cold one time that, like, I actually wore layers here in Florida. But that's a freak occurrence. That's maybe at the most for a week on a magical winter. So from the research I've seen in Colombia, I really like that Bogotá is way higher in the mountains, which translates to much cooler weather. So much to the point where people are saying you're gonna need a jacket every day, which is awesome. I love jackets. I grew up in New York City, in Brooklyn, and I'll tell you, having a collection of jackets can change how you look and feel every day. So Bogota sounds nice. I'm understanding, though, that it can be expensive. So maybe not in Bogota proper, but at least somewhere higher in the mountains, maybe somewhere along what's called the coffee axis. And I'm doing a lot of my research from an expat, or I don't even yeah, I think he considers himself an expat. He travels, but in any case, his name is Matt Griffith. His channel is called Matt Griffith, the Americano. He's an American living in Colombia, and he's telling his whole channel is based on all the information and realities of being an American living in Bogotá, Colombia, and he's awesome. Reached out to him a couple of times, more like I commented on his YouTube videos asking questions, but awesome resource, and he's pretty much the person that sold me on that area of Colombia. There is another channel that I really enjoy watching called Medellin Living. The guy's name is Andrew, another YouTube channel based on relocating to Colombia, but he's more specific to Medellin. Another awesome dude, great content. Really appreciate how honest he is with his information. He tells it like it is, because his story, man, is wild. He grew up in the United States and he actually got deported back to Colombia at like 24. And I don't know all the specifics to the story. He has an entire video on it. You should check out his channel if you want to hear that story. Medellin Living. Really, really cool YouTuber. Appreciate all the information he's putting out. But yeah, those guys are great resources. I'm looking for cooler weather, so I don't think Medellin is where it's at. It looks a little bit warmer, less jacket weather, but nonetheless it is in Colombia. So really cool resource information to just kind of have at your leisure. And so another reason why I want to live in Colombia is of how close it is to the United States. My family is actually based here on the East Coast, so moving there, it would be much easier for me to get back in the event of like an emergency or any kind of like important family get-togethers. So like if my sister decides to go ahead and have a family, I would love to visit my little niece and nephew, you know, that'd be great. But if I lived in my other option that I'm seriously considering, which is the Philippines, I mean, that's a 23-hour flight. I don't know how my dad does it, but as a dual citizen of the Philippines, he goes back every year. He spends 6 months here, 6 months there. And that seems like a lot. I don't know. He is retired, so I guess he has nothing but time on his hands, not worried about anything else. I don't got it like that. But what a cool way to live if that's what you're interested in being in the Philippines and the United States. But in any case, back to me. I am picking Colombia because of its very close proximity to the United States. Again, family is close by. If I need to get back here, it's not crazy. And if I decide to pick up remote work, I'd really like to get paid in US dollars. And as a US citizen, it would behoove me, right? And I would be in US Standard Time, so I wouldn't have too much of a crazy conversion. Any case, I'm gonna wrap this up. I know it's been a minute, but it's basically everything I've been talking about. I look forward to updating you in the next video, hopefully sooner than later. All right, peace.